Thank you. I really enjoyed doing that. We call that Bible acting. It's not performance oriented, it's just about hearing and sharing, which is the intention of the Bible. James has got some great things to say, but let's understand that God is speaking to us in the first person with the Bible. It's written by the Holy Spirit. We call that Emmanuel. And this hearing that we're doing and this ministry of sharing, I train people who never acted before, and they do it just as well as I do. We're hearing God's voice, and we call it Emmanuel, getting away from the manual. And I believe that James has a real heart for this, because he's really speaking into the common things. And just a few topics I want to give to you so you can have a good discussion with your group today. One is, he starts off by saying trials of many kinds. He gets right to the point. It's almost like, and it's not just that, I believe that throughout the whole 5 chapters of James, he's talking about what can fix the trials that you come under. The first thing you got to understand is that suffering happens. It's Jesus learned obedience from the things he suffered. So what you do with the suffering that comes has everything to do with the purification that happens, that makes it so you can hear God and understand and want to obey him. So I'd say a good discussion about suffering, how it works, trials of many kinds, and develop that into James' thinking. Because he develops it into saying, you, the hearer, especially the believer, is a kind of first fruits of all God's created. Of first fruits. This is what it's leading up to. It's the Feast of First Fruits is where he rose from the dead. It's a kind of ongoing renewal that God has promised. One of the issues I want to bring up, though, is that be slow to speak, quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. Now, anger is very common. There's another topic we can talk about today in your group, anger. I mean, be honest. You get angry. And then he says, therefore get rid of moral filth and the evil that's so prevalent. So he's connecting anger to moral filth that's in the culture. So what I get out of that is, hey, what I'm doing in the culture I'm living in, if I'm agreeing with it, if I'm part of it, if I'm passive about it, then it's making me angry. And maybe I hide that anger behind different things like laughing at foul things or wrong things or just not getting engaged in what's really important. There's this barrier that I have. And it's making me angry. And the culture, get rid of moral filth. What is it that you go to see in the movies? What is it that you spend your time with at work? Oh, and nobody's perfect. But he's trying to get us on the right path so that we're not angry. So be quick to listen. Slow to speak. Slow to angry. And watch the culture things that you get involved in. Because our culture is degenerating and it's not going to change. But the kingdom is getting better. Finally, the Bible. Here you are, you're reading the Bible and, you're just going through the Bible, you're going through verses, and what do you get? You get nothing because you don't connect with the reality of the person of God talking to you. We should read the Bible a little slower. We should read chapter 1 maybe as a group today. Just kind of read it slow together and engage. Another thing he says is looking at the man in the mirror. I'm looking at you. Now if I'm looking to you for approval, I'm looking to you for everything that would make me who I could be, I'm looking for the wrong thing. I'm looking at the wrong thing. And what happens is we look for culture to reaffirm us. We look to ourselves to reaffirm us. We look to man to tell us what is good and what's best. And that changes with the seasons. But there's things that never change. The 10 Commandments, things that never change. Look into the perfect law that gives freedom. And the freedom in the 10 Commandments is that Jesus has fulfilled the law. So we can be free. We can be free. That's what he's offering, freedom. But it's through the narrow gate. You go through those laws, you go through the reality of it, you see where you fail, and you see how he's helped you. And not only has he helped you then, he's helping you now. And that's the other part of it. God's walking with you now. So, when you look to him, he says, lose yourself in me, in Matthew 10, and find yourself. That's a good subject. So good subjects today are suffering, trials, looking to God instead of man, looking to his voice, listening to him. Find the Bible as God interacting with us now. In the first person, or else the Holy Spirit didn't write it. But the Holy Spirit did write the Bible, didn't he? And the Holy Spirit is present with us, isn't he? He's with us, and Jesus is coming soon. Emmanuel, Holy Spirit is with us now. And finally, perfect religion. Talk about that. It's caring for others. I tell you, if you and I will really listen to God and really, really embrace the law, not that we can do it, but embrace what it means, we'll find righteousness. And in righteousness, we'll find grace. In our culture, we've gotten away from righteousness, and we call it grace, but it's really anarchy. It's lawlessness. Get away from me, you who practice lawlessness. And that's a religious community. He says that too, my friends. Listen to the brother of Jesus, James. He was around Jesus a lot. He became a strong believer at the very end, and he became a great guy. And I like James. The only James I've met is the one the Holy Spirit has shown me. And I like him a lot. God bless you. You have a great time today. And keep looking up. Your redemption draws near.